performer is going to be, let's see, our next performer is going to be Isabelle, and she will be announcing her piece as well as what she'll be playing. Oh, sorry. There you go.
There you go. My name is Isabelle, and I'll be playing Rondo by Mozart.
All right. That was Isabelle performing Mozart's Rondo, which is the third movement of his Sonata K545. All right, so I'm going to start the poll again, and you guys can start to fill that out. And then if you have any verbal feedback, you can raise your hands. Well, it's filled out. Does anyone have any verbal feedback before I start calling on people? I'll give you a few moments to fill out the poll, though. Yeah, Shivani, if you want to go ahead.
I thought it was pretty good. At the beginning, you kind of stopped, so it sounded like you made a mistake. Yeah, that's all I have to say. And I liked your dynamics.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that point. Yeah, so there was, I guess, like the pauses are kind of nice, like in terms of the phrasing, but also there's always that balance between pausing and making it seem like a mistake and then pausing with intention. So I guess kind of going between that and balancing that. And I'm not sure if I have an answer for what is correct or what not, but it's kind of looking at it from the audience perspective in that sense. All right, let's get one more person. How about Allison? You want to say something?
I think you have good articulation, and you should be careful of the first F sharp on the first page.
All right, so accidentals, especially since it's a Mozart piece, there's like a little bit of modulation, so being wary of that. And then, yeah, the articulation was pretty good for the most part. I agree with that point. All right, so looks like we have almost everyone filled out the poll. So I'm going to finish up the poll and share it with you guys. So sharing it now. So looking at the dynamics, yeah, it was between 4 and 5. Most saying it was pretty good, and then one person saying it was amazing. Yeah, I definitely agree with that point. I think your dynamics overall were pretty good for the most part. Maybe exploring a little bit more softer into like the piano section, but beyond that, it was overall pretty smooth. Articulation, also 2 scores saying it was amazing, and most people saying it was pretty good. And I definitely agree with that point as well. You expressed the articulation pretty on point, I would say. And then after that, we have balance. Balance was a little bit more of a split between 3, 4, and 5, still weighing heavier to the 4 and 5 with more votes on 4. So I'd say it wasn't perfect at some points, but definitely there was like some points where I think the left hand felt a little bit heavier, but beyond that, the balance sounded pretty all right to me. Phrasing, that might be where that might need a little bit more focus. Most people said it was pretty still scoring on the 3, 4, 5 range, but most people said it was okay. So kind of maybe thinking about the phrasing as you're playing through it, especially when, especially with like a lot of the runs, like all that kind of stuff, expressing how you want to phrase that dynamically, especially. And the movement, this was the lowest score, I guess, but it was still, it was between 2, 3, 4, and 5 with 1 vote for 2. I didn't notice much movement. So, and I mean, it's a fast piece, so it doesn't demand a ton of movement, but also maybe thinking about how you want to increase and add some movement into your piece while you're working on it. All right. So that is that. So I'll stop sharing that. And